Good
Hi,
morning.
how are you doing today?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, good.
I'm going to go ahead and get us started. So,
Okay.
hello everyone. We are back with our weekly interviews. I'm Taylor Martin with Beauty Queens Galore, the pageant resource, and today we are chatting with Joy Williams. She is the founder of Joy Williams Beauty, celebrity hairstylist, creative director, herbalist practitioner, and author. Working as the key hairstylist for Miss USA and Miss Universe, she continues to make history as she embraces all hairstyles and textures. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm really, really honored that you reached out. So I'm super excited to talk to you guys today.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about how you got into the beauty industry and then ventured into pageants.
So actually, I started when I was 16. I started doing hair. My big sister, was a stylist, and of course, I was always following around her. But I actually thought that my career path was going to be law and government. So I actually got scholarship. I was a high school debater, did that whole thing. Got scholarship and went to the University of Texas at Austin. Sorry, they're mowing the grass outside.
Okay.
Um, and so from there, I like did everything. God will put you in position for you to see that, like, okay, you're good at this, but this isn't really your path. And so I really got a chance to immerse myself into that. And after school, I was like, this is horrible. These people are miserable. I am too much of a flower child to do this for the rest of my life. And so, as I always tell people, I had a midlife crisis at 22 and completely changed my career, and started to do hair. And I had always been doing hair, like my dorm room was a beauty shop, et cetera, et cetera. So I decided to go to school at Paul Mitchell, the school in Austin, Texas, where I was at. And from there, I knew that I wanted to do some big things. I knew that I couldn't go from wanting to be CEO of my own law firm to only just working behind the chair for the rest of my life. So I started to put myself in position to be a princess for, fashion shows, pageants, working on film, things like that. And so actually, after I graduated beauty school, I went directly into the field and then later came back to salons. So I pretty much went straight out the gate, started working in pageants, and I did a lot of stuff for free. And I did a lot of grinding and a lot of paying my dues to get to where I'm at right now.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like such an amazing story. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like kind of doing a 180, just being like, I'm not going to go with my original plan of
Yeah.
working in law. I'm just going to, trust God and let Him take me on this journey of being a hairstylist.
It's really something where I feel like you really have to you have to follow what speaks to your heart, what speaks to your spirit. And when I really investigated, okay, why do I actually want to be an attorney? Like, why do I actually want to do this? And really, my reasons were very basic. I want to encourage people. I want to empower people. I want people to know that they have an advocate on their side. I want women, especially women, and especially black women, to know that, you're seen and you're not alone. And I realized I didn't necessarily have to go that path to do that. So I'm still aligned in that purpose. I'm just doing it in a different way that's a lot more fun.
You work
Nothing against lawyers. Like, one of my best friends is an attorney. So please don't hear me say that. But I just, for me and for my purpose and my sort of journey, it's really important for me to like be that encouragement to people, to let them know, you're seen, I got you, empower to help empower you to be the best you. So
you work with a lot of different hair textures and hairstyles and all of that. So can you tell us a little bit about how you ventured into being so versatile as a hairstylist? Because that's not something that we see so often, and you
right.
are praised for that all over social media. So tell us a little
Thank
bit about that.
you. Thank you. It's very intentional. I will say that. I will say that in being in this industry, like I said, working on film, working on TV, like doing things like that behind the scenes for so long, what I always find is that a lot of people only do the type or texture of hair that looks like them.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I was very intentional about making sure that I knew how to do all types of hair, all textures. My goal, even when I went to cosmetology school, was I want everyone, every race, every age, every creed, every color, whatever, every sex, to be able to sit in my chair and I can do their hair. And so it was very intentional for me. I made sure that I took additional classes. Just because I have textured hair does not mean that I am the authority on textured hair, that I know that all there is to know. So I made sure that I was intentional about taking additional training and additional classes and learning different things, as well as doing haircuts and color and, you know, all the things that we learn in cosmetology school. But I've made sure that I have been intentional about doing that. And so it's kind of a mantra of mine to encourage every hairstylist to be intentional about that, because of the fact that there's so many times, you know, I've had people personally tell me, you know, pageant girls tell me, and then even working, you know, you hear, you know, conversations that actresses are having, like Gabrielle Union, people like that. I even watched an interview, you know, with Viola Davis, and she was like, I can sit down at the chair and look at the station and say, there's nothing on this station that's going to address my hair needs. And so it's really about being intentional as a stylist, to know that to get the education, to know that you need to be able to do everyone's hair. That's what's really opened up so many doors for me, is the fact that I've been intentional about knowing how to do everything well.
What would your advice be to maybe a younger stylist, somebody that within the last 3 to 4 years has just started breaking into the pageant industry and is also getting more exposure to clients of different ethnicities and different hair types, that is wondering, what do I do? I need to keep this clientele, continue to, you know, bring this clientele in, but the only way I'm going to be able to do that is by working on specific hair textures, but I don't know where to start.
So one thing that I loved about the pandemic, right, is that it put everybody on an equal playing field. So these educational classes, these brands, these companies, these stylists that have this information, we all kind of got on the same level within the last couple of years, right? And so what that means is that now you have access to classes, trainings, online education, those types of things. So tap into that. I've aligned myself with some really amazing brands and like different companies. Texture versus Race movement is an amazing movement by a good dear friend of mine and mentor, Kia Neal. And what they specifically do is they make sure that we understand that hair is fabric. It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with ethnicity. It's more so fabric. Everyone has all textures. And so it's a matter of being intentional about learning what needs to work for this particular fabric, for this particular goal, hair goal that we're trying to get to. So there is so many trainings out there now. There are so many lines. Matrix just came out with a Curl Can Dream. I'm looking at all of these different brands that are coming out now with lines made specifically for kinky curly hair, Pattern Beauty. There's all these different types of lines. I don't want to start naming because then I'm gonna forget some people. I don't want to offend nobody, but you know, there's so many different lines for you to be able to learn and understand that there is multiple various textures and ethnicities around you. So if you are a stylist and you want to start, you know, learning that different hair texture, get some models, get some clients and say, hey, listen, let me, you know, learn some things. I've taken this class and I want to learn how to do it, because it's so important that representation is in all parts of the industry. And I feel like the pageant industry is happening. It's kind of aligning at the same time that the rest of the world is realizing, hey, there's texture and there's curls and it's beautiful. And we're no longer going with the European standards of typical beauty, which is, you know, blonde hair, blue eyes. I love my blonde hair, blue eye women. But there are so many different varieties of us out there. And so, you know, I love to see the fact that we're going in this way to be really representative of really what's in the world and not just what we see in marketing or have seen in marketing.
Mm-hmm. That is amazing advice. So if you are an aspiring hairstylist or you just got into the industry and you're here watching us live, make sure you take that advice, look into those resources that Joy was just talking about. We are going to, I think we have a question from somebody watching. Kennedy Simone says, what do you want to be remembered for in this lifetime?
Whoo, child, y'all asking me hard questions today. Okay, let's see. I would want to be remembered for being a person that always has positive energy, no matter what is happening. But also, I want to be remembered for a person that helped people to find the beauty within themselves. That's really my life's purpose in whatever arena, whatever area I'm in. it's really for me to help you find the beauty within you. And so whatever I can do to empower you in that, whether it's speaking life into you, whether it's, you know, meditating with you. My team knows I'm a senior artist with Team Flawless, and they're like, okay, you're the medicine woman of the group. So if there's any things going on, they're like, Joy, you got a spray, you got a potion, you got a prayer. Well, we need you. So I love to be remembered as a person that just helped empower other people to be the best version of themselves and to find the beauty within themselves.
That is amazing. And you do so much of that through your work in pageantry. So tell us, if we were to book with you and, you know, get our hair done by you at a pageant or any other type of event, what is the experience? What is the Joy Williams beauty experience? How would you make us feel empowered? All of that.
So there's several different ways that I have been kind of immersed into this pageant industry, certainly with my brand, Joy Williams Beauty. But also I have been blessed to do like being able to work with the last 3 Miss USA winners in a row, which is like, I'm like, this is life, like my life for real. So I'm super blessed for that. The primary way, because I am a senior artist with Team Flawless and they attend art pageants and do hair for pageants throughout the country. They are, I may be a little biased when I say this, the best pageanting company in the nation. And what I love about Team Flawless is that we specifically teach and train on diversity in textures of hair and skin types. You won't be able to go to a Team Flawless artist and not get your right makeup shade. So definitely book me through Team Flawless. For a lot of the pageantry, I'm like a contract with them. And so, you know, a lot of the pageants that they attend, if you are, if you've entered into or you're a contestant in a pageant that Team Flawless has a sponsorship with or a contract with, then you'd book me through info@teamflawless.com. If it is a pageant that Team Flawless does not have a contract with, then you can book me directly at Joy Williams Beauty. And so you'll go to joywilliamsbeauty.com. So there's a variety of ways. I always tell people to just reach out to me, and I will, based off what pageant you're in and, you know, what those contract things look like, get you to the right source, whether it's me directly or whether it is, you know, booking through Team Flawless, which is an amazing support system. Like, they have been super, super sweet in encouraging my gifts and just pushing me out there. I've worked with other companies in the past, and it was a little bit more, a little bit less free. I'll say that. And so I love the fact that I've aligned with the company, because because I have my own business and my own things that I do. I have my apothecary. I have those things. I love that I can just go with Team Flawless and just be an artist. I don't have to deal with the business side of things, because that can be a little bit taxing if you have your own. And so that's why I really love, because people are like, why do I book? Because they they free me up to just be Joy. I show up, do great hair, we have fun. Let's get it popping. Get on the stage, boo. I got you. So you can definitely book me info@teamflawless.com. Or also, if it's a pageant that they are not in contract or affiliated with, then you can book me directly.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting us know how to book you. And
of course. You can always reach out to.
Team Flawless is definitely getting so much exposure with pageants, especially with Miss USA this past week. So tell us a little bit how it was like working with Miss USA contestants. You have so many contestants praising you, including Layla Nasser, Miss Maryland USA.
That's my boo.
Yeah, she posted you on her story the other day. Yeah. Just so many different contestants praising you in the work, saying that you helped them so much throughout the week. So tell us a little bit about how that was.
So for me, I always think of issues in terms of, okay, how can we find a solution, right? And so a lot of the times, girls will have last minute issues, or, for example, you know, something happened, or they don't have the right products, or, you know, they need a quick twist out, or they need something that works, you know, to blend with their own natural hair, or something's going on with their hairpiece or whatever. So for me, it's just a matter of, okay, what's going on? My first thing is, okay, let me calm you down. And then I got you. Like, tell me what you need, what we're trying to get to, and then I go from there. And so I love being able to be a problem solver for the girls. So all the girls are super, super sweet. It was really a blessing to work with all of the ladies, especially this year coming back. the pageant wasn't quarantined. And so people were, stylists were actually able to be, a part of the pageant. And so just kind of getting back out there. I was there in 2019. I was able to work with Chesley Christ, who is now a Miss Universe judge. When she won, did her hair, as well as Kaylee Garris, who's like my sweetheart. And so this year, working with this class of 2021, Layla, like there's so many of them that I adore. I adore everybody. Let me be clear. I love everybody. I love on everybody. But I think that I particularly create a bond with my texture girls because, I haven't done pageants. It's not really my thing. I like being behind the scenes. However, what I can see from just being around the industry is that there's a lot of the times where you come onto, a pageant set or you're at pageant week and you're like, what am I going to do about my hair? It's got to be done before I get here. My mom has to help me or something like that. And so I think that it gives the girls a sort of sigh of relief to know that, okay, there's someone on Team Flawless, and there's a lot of us, not just me, like all of us do texture. All of us are really, really great at being able to assess, and then we help each other out in areas where, because there's some things that Albert knows that I don't know. You know what I mean? There's some things that, I may know that other members may not know. And so we are all like real big on helping each other. So regardless, like you'll be able to come and sit down in one of our chairs and be able to get that great look that you want, whether you want to wear a wig or a hairpiece, whether you want to wear your own natural hair and wear it curly. Knowing that your curl's gonna be popping when you're on that stage, because we have the right products, the right knowledge, the right education. So I really love the fact that we pretty much just kind of work to problem solve. Even when we went to the retreat in Cancun, there were some problems that arose, that people weren't expecting. And so to be able to just say, okay, let's just get it done. Let's just get it done. Because ultimately the main goal is that you feel beautiful and confident on that stage. And when they feel beautiful and confident on that stage, it shines through. And so if I can help them some kind of way with their hair to make them feel like, okay, now I'm ready. All of this training, all of this preparation that I've done, now my image is also matched that. So I'm ready, then I've done my job. So I love doing that. Sabrina, like there's so many in Miss California. There's so many. And again, I don't like to start naming names because I'm going to forget somebody. But I definitely love working with all the girls. My Miss Teen USA's this year in the top three of the top 5 girls I had done their hair all week. So that was amazing because you could really see their confidence on stage. 2 of them were curly. 1 of them, wore her hair straight. And so, to see that the ladies that I've been working with throughout the week is getting to where they want to be with their goals, that makes my heart sing. Like, I'm so happy to see that.
So now we see why everybody praises you so much, because of that amazing answer right there. So during Miss USA week or during any pageant week, you have a lot of clients coming through your chair. So how do you balance that?
Efficiently and quickly. There is not a lot of time. So a lot of things too to know. And also, if you are a stylist that wants to get in this industry, is that a regular salon service that may take an hour, 2 hours, you got 30 minutes before, to get this done. And so there's a lot of things that I've learned in the industry. There's a lot of things that I've learned from Albert and from Team Flawless. There's a lot of different things and techniques and tricks that I've learned to get us to our desired goal. And so we have a schedule that's laid out. We essentially assign people to whoever can get their hair done like the most efficiently effective way possible. And sometimes you don't know what you're going to get when they show up, because their headshot may look one way and then they show up a whole different way. So it's just a matter of being able to assess and hone my skills. I'm always practicing. I have mannequins at home upstairs. I'm always practicing. I'm always trying to figure out. I'm always timing myself. I'm always making sure that when I'm not on, that I'm ready, because I don't have time to figure it out or get ready. When you show up in my chair, we've got 30 minutes to take you from a fro to like curls popping. You know what I'm saying? So it's always about continuously educating yourself, making sure that you have a strategy. As one of my team members, yes, absolutely have a strategy. And know how to get where you need to get to efficiently. So it's just a matter of me like, okay, how do I need to get where I need to get to? A lot of times, especially if it's a headshot, you know, I know that we're just looking at the front. So I give my time to the front, and then I make sure that the back kind of blends, you know what I'm saying, with the front. So there's always different sorts of things that we can kind of do to make it work. But I kind of like the adrenaline rush. It's a little fun.
So let's switch gears a little bit, and let's talk about Chi was one of Miss USA's 2019 sponsors, and you got to work with Miss USA Chesley Chris and also Farouk Shamai. I think I'm saying it right.
Farouk Shamai, yes.
Shami. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I was an executive master educator and master platform artist on the CAT team, which is a creative artistic team, which is like one of the highest teams you can get on Chi. I was with Chi for about 5 years, and it was an amazing experience. I learned a lot. I got a lot of opportunity to be a part of videos, webinars, Miss USA, like all kinds of stuff. And so it was a great time. Chi was actually the previous sponsor, I believe, of the Miss USA pageants with the previous owners for about like the 18, 20 years. And so they had a long history in pageantry and with the Miss USA pageants. And so there were a lot of opportunity, you know, to kind of be able to work in there. 2019 was, I believe, the last year that she had a contract or did sponsorship with the Miss USA pageant and with MUO. And so, you know, I got a chance to be a part of kind of like that final, you know, ta-da, you know what I mean? And then we ended up with Chesley Chris. Was amazing, you know what I mean? So that was awesome. And actually, like, meeting her was great. She actually showed up to Reg and Fittings with straight hair, and she was kind of sitting in the chair, and she was like, you know, I'm really wanting to wear my hair curly. And I was like, okay, show me what your hair looks like curly, because it's beautiful straight, but if you want to wear it curly, let's do it. And she pulled out this picture, and I was like, oh yes, ma'am, we're going curly. Absolutely. And so, you know, I didn't convince her. She already, you know, knew what she wanted to do with her hair. But I definitely was happy to be able to provide that support. Like, okay, yeah, I got you. Like, we're gonna do these steps. We're gonna make sure that every single curl is luscious and juicy. And so, you know, to kind of have that backup and support to say, you know, you want to do this, and you want to wear your hair curly, and it's, you know, not seen as often, you know what I'm saying, on the pageant stage. I'm going to support you all the way. I'm there. I got you. Let's do it. And so, of course, the rest is history with that. And so, you know, working with that in that transition as they were transitioning out of Chi and the previous ownership into the new transition with Crystal Stewart, who is amazing. I freaking love this woman. Like, I fangirl the first time I saw her, and I don't fangirl many people, but I was like, so she's amazing. I love her. And so I love to see what she is now doing as the new director of Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, and just to see like the marketing and like how the excitement, there's like a new sort of freshness and excitement that Crystal and her team has brought in back into pageantry, really, especially for everyone that is contested and for the experience of pageantry. So I love being able to be a part of that. So I kind of caught right in that transition. And I'm just happy to continue to be a part that they keep asking me back, Chad.
Amazing. You have so much amazing experience with Miss USA organization. And it's also interesting to hear how Chesley sat in your chair with straight hair and then she left with curly hair. Sounds like you're a magic worker. But just a little bit. We have a question in the comments that is asking, what can girls do at home to prepare for the 30 minutes that they may have in your chair? Should we come hair washed, hair dirty, dry, like whatever? How should we come?
So what we typically do is I typically tell the girls to come. If we only have 30 minutes, again, because everything has to do with the timing. If we only have 30 minutes, I would prefer for you to come with your hair already shampooed. You already have your deep conditioner or your leave-in conditioner in there, as well as your favorite curly product that you know is going to work for your hair. Because of the fact that I won't have a lot of time to take you from soaking wet to dry curls popping, right? So the ideal, right, is for me to shampoo your hair and get you all, clean and do your conditioning and add your leave-in treatments and do all that type of stuff. In 30 minutes, I don't have the type of time. So what we ask girls to do, if you are a pageant and you're wanting to come, if you're a pageant girl and you're wanting to come sit down in a chair and get amazing curls within 30 minutes, we actually have your hair already clean, have your leave-in treatment and whatever curly product that 100% for sure, like this is going to work for my hair. And then I always have my army of products to, work with whatever works for you. And so from there, we may do something like diffuse you out. I may go in and do some finger coiling, things that may define the curl. If you are interested or if you are open to using a hot tool, not many curly girls are, but some of those that are, like our current Miss USA L. Smith, every so often we'll go in with a really small spiral curling wand, and we'll, make those curls pop a little bit more, give them a little bit more oomph. And so, if you want to do some heat styling, we can do something like that. But it's really about coming prepared. And then from there, we have, we have a plethora of, okay, you want to wear it up, you want to wear it down, like you want to do something over to the side. So there's a bunch of ways that you can prepare, but definitely I can do anything with clean, prepped hair. Please come clean.
Okay, so everybody listening, when we book with Joy, come with clean hair. And one question I wanted to ask, you did mention us bring our own products. So a lot of hairstylists or makeup artists even might get offended if we bring our own products. So can you tell us a little bit about,
So when I say bring your own product, like for me, it's more so of one product. Don't put your whole routine because it may not work with the products that I have. For me, I always say do a leave-in treatment, or a leave-in conditioner, leave-in cream, something like that. Because from there, I can then build on what you started. Because again, we're talking about doing hair in 30 minutes. Now, if it's something where you're coming and we have time, then just come with clean, damp hair. And I take it from there, and my girls can tell you, like, depending on which pageants we're at, like if you're not at the nationals, or if you're not at like Miss USA or this team when we only have 30 minutes, and we may be at some of these other where we may have 45 minutes. Sometimes we even have an hour, depending on what, is happening. Then from there, I can take, the products. First of all, I use professional products. So the products that are readily available in the stores, I try not to use all of those all the time, because sometimes they leave different residue. I know we all have had that moment, especially if you're a curly girl. You put one product in, you mix another product, and it creates them little white beads, and you're like, I got to start all over. So that's why I'm always trying to use professional products. Not that professional products can't create that issue, but professional products tend to have less parabens, or no sulfates or things like that are going to cause sort of issues. And so it's not necessarily a thing where I believe that stylists may necessarily get offended. I think it's more so of me saying, no, don't use everything that's under your kitchen sink. Just give me a good leave-in and I can take it from there, So it's sort of something like that. And then as far as makeup, as far as with Team Flawless, we have everything. So Taylor, I know Miss Michigan, she spoke about that in her Instagram where she was like, I brought and I get it. Like, I brought my shade because I don't know if they have something that's going to match my shade. And we do. So when it comes to makeup, just bring your clean skin that does not have last night's eyeliner on it, or yesterday's makeup. Just clean, moisturized skin, and we got it from there. For me with hair, and for us with hair, make sure that you bring your hair nice and prepped, one leave-in product, and I got you from there.
You did mention when you were talking about curly hair and using different products, how if you mix a leave-in with another product, you might get those little white beads, and that happens to me all the time. So what is some advice? I'm sure I'm not the only person. So what is some advice you can give to some of the curly girls who are having problems with the products and they're mixing and creating these white beads in your hair? It's like you just washed it and it's irritating.
Yeah, and you have to do it all over again, and you like want to scream. So one thing that I always say, mix the products in your hands first. A lot of times we like to, when they say take a quarter size, we scoop our finger in now and slob it on our head. So make sure that when you are thinking about mixing two products, what I always do, even to this day, even last week when I was at Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, is if I'm thinking about mixing two products together, I am going to mix them in my hands first. And I'm going to, and not just like a quick little, like I'm going to what we call emulsifying. I'm going to emulsify it in my hands. If it starts to create little beads in my hands, it's going to do that on my hair. Mm-hmm. So be mindful of that. So when you're thinking, okay, I may take this cream and this gel, because that's when it happens a lot, when you mix a cream and a gel together, right? Because they're two different consistencies. So, you know, if you're going to mix a product, mix it in your hands first and then see what that looks like. And if you see anything besides an even blend, I mean, if you see it start to coagulate at all, do not mix it on your hair because it's probably going to leave that residue on your hair. So do that first. And then, you know, and sometimes it may be that the particular cream that you have just doesn't work with another product. So you may think about just using a leave-in spray, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to a cream, and then follow up later, you know, with the cream, or let me give you, because again, because I have so much experience and because I'm constantly using curly products, there are a few like Mazzani, I love, like Matrix, I love, like Design Essentials, I love, that will allow me, at least there's something in that one line that will work with just about every other line that's out there. So it's just kind of like my own sort of, you know, I'm a little chemist in there. So, you know, it's kind of like my own little concoctions. But even though I have the experience and I've learned, you know, what things not to mix or whatever, I still mix it in my hands first. And if you don't see that smooth, creamy consistency, it's not looking like a face cream, it's looking like a milkshake, don't do it, sis.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Got it. Great advice. Noted. Yeah. I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. So let's talk a little bit about your YouTube channel. You have the Bareface Chronicles. Tell us a little bit about that.
So my YouTube channel is a plethora of a bunch of different things. But my YouTube channel and the Bareface Chronicles is so often I have, you know, you see me. This is, you know, Joy Williams Beauty, whatever. People that know me in real life know she's probably going to have on like lipstick and eyebrows. That's probably it. And so the Bareface Chronicles was sort of just me being able to strip down everything and get to the bare nakedness of our truth as I am ascending on my spiritual journey. And, you know, God is putting me in places like this to talk to people. One of the things that I have learned in being what we call a wounded healer, which is a person who, you know, has a healing energy, is for a reason. She's been through some things. Mm-hmm. And so it's a matter of helping other people to really understand that they too can be healed, and that they too, you know, confronting yourself is one of the most scary things to do. Confronting, you know, some of your own flaws or faults, or, you know, looking at things in your life when we go through hard times. But if you really strip down to the bare nakedness of the truth, and you're able to really look yourself in the mirror, at the end of the day, this is the person that I have to live with. This is the person that I have to go to bed with and wake up with and be with for the rest of my life. No matter who else is around, this is the person I got to deal with. And so a lot of sort of inner work, a lot of inner healing, a lot of inner child healing, a lot of just encouraging yourself, doing affirmations. Those around me that know, even my pageant girls were doing affirmations while we're sitting in the chair. Like, I'm giving you meditation techniques. I'm doing all sorts of things, because all of that works together to create like what you see and who you are and where you want to be. And so that also is a part of me. Consequently, I also have a Joy Soul Apothecary, which is my apothecary business that I just recently revamped, really. I started it when I was going through a divorce years ago, and revamped it to be, you know, to catch up to where I am now. And so it is about giving you remedies and tools on your self-care journey, because all of this is about self-care. Even being in the pageant industry and being examples, you know, on that stage for little girls or young women that are growing up, is to look at a person and say, okay, she went through adversity and look where she's at now. She's beautiful and she's powerful and she's gorgeous and she's smart and she's intelligent. I want to be able to do that. Well, a lot of that is through being able to tap into your own self-care. And so I make handmade soaps and organic butters. I have spiritual herbal baths. I have yoni steams. I even have stuff for the guys. I got scalp and beard oil, growth stimulating oils. A lot of the times, when my girls sit in the chair, especially if we've been putting hairspray and products and stuff in their hair, I might be like, girl, let me give you some oil on your scalp, honey, because you're a little dry. So, so I definitely like to incorporate, some of my Joy Soul Apothecary products into that. So I'll add a hair oil or a daily treatment oil to your scalp, because with doing all of this and all the shampoos and all that stuff, it's really, really harsh on your hair, all the hairsprays, I'm sorry. So it's really, really harsh on your hair. So I'm always trying to find a way. My body butters also double as hair butters if you want to do a twist out yourself, or if you need something for your skin. It works really great for that. It's all natural and organic. So it's really about just having elements that are incorporated for you to be able to continue on your journey. And so whatever that part of that journey looks like for you. But you can definitely go to my website to catch those things.
I just want to take a second to say that you have some fans in the comments.
I do?
Got some fans. Yes. We have we want her back again, please. Joy, looking forward to seeing you on TV with your own show.
I received that. Thank you, Gary.
Keep passing on your peace and blessing. Sure. We have Now She's Preaching. We got God's Plan. People are loving you. So much wisdom we're getting from you. Thank you so much for
thank you
all
guys.
this information.
Y'all are so sweet. Thank you.
So let's talk about what is one of the biggest lessons that you've learned from this industry.
One of the biggest lessons that I learned from this industry is to always stay true to myself. I think that I'll say this because I said this to Catalina, who is Miss Nevada, who, just broke major doors down with being the first trans woman to compete on the Miss USA stage. A pioneer doesn't always have a blueprint. So there's a lot of times that we are pioneering things in our families. There's a lot of times that we are pioneering things in certain industries, and there's not necessarily a blueprint. There's not okay, this person did that, so then I'll follow in her footsteps. Like most of the time, our paths may cross with different people, but your particular journey and destination ends up being your own. And so if you just stay grounded and stay true to yourself, I find that doors open that way. Like I've had, several people, say, especially before we had all of this representation in the pageant industry, pageant hair isn't real hair. I've had fellow hairdressers, former friends, I say former because I don't need that negativity, say, oh, that's not real hair. Like, that's not really doing real hair. And I'm like, what do you mean? Do you know how much, skill you have to make some hair like this huge? And so people that don't understand women that compete in pageants. Well, why are you doing that? Like, that's not relevant for this time. It's a pageant based on beauty, and that's superficial and blah, 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 blah. But what I would say is really stay true to yourself, because what happens is that as long as you stay true to who you are and do what you do, a lane will be created. It's not even necessarily that you have to find, if you're a pioneer, like I say, you're going to always have a blueprint. You are the blueprint, right? Like you become the blueprint for other people to follow behind. And so a lot of the times you just feel like, okay, I don't really know what I'm doing. There are days that I still am like, Jesus, for real? You see me, right? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But in those times, it's a matter of saying, you know what, let me follow along what you told me to do. You know what I'm saying? And so, from now, people saying, oh, you'll never make it, in this industry because you don't double book yourself. And now I'm booked and busy. Amen. Or, people saying, oh, doing pageant hair is not real hair. And now there's so much texture in pageants, and there's so much diversity in pageants, not with just African-American women, but Asian and Indian and, all women of all walks of life. And so there's someone that is looking up to you. So just stay true to yourself, and a lane will be created, because you're going to create that lane yourself. Like, it's not a matter of looking for someone to come save you. You be your own savior, and know that you can do this. Just like you have uniqueness for a reason. And so roll with that, because me being my flower child self that likes to deal with all textures and, likes to, play with you and laugh with you and will cry with you and pray you through, you know, all of that, meet me and me has gotten me to where I am right now. Or every open door, everything that has come for me. Even, you know, being when I spoke about previously working with Chi, and I'm no longer with them, like, but being the first African American woman on air on Home Shopping Network for them, because it was me. Like when they said, okay, we're choosing Joy, what I was told was that they were like, because we like her personality. And so if I was trying to be somebody else, or if I felt like I needed to water myself down, then that door wouldn't have been open. So really, it's just a matter of knowing that if you're a pioneer, baby, there is no blueprint. You are the blueprint. Get to work.
That is amazing life advice, just for anybody, especially in the pageant industry, because a lot of times we struggle with comparison and trying to be almost even like the last national queen. We want to be like the person that currently has the title, when we don't realize that we have all that it takes just being
absolutely ourselves. Just being you. Like you bring so much to the table with just you, because nobody else has the uniqueness that you do. So just be you. Like I love seeing my girl, and I'm gonna shout her out, Faith Charles. Baby, she rocked that runway. She rocked that stage, and I was like, ma'am, you gonna snatch all the edges? Really? Like I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it in my soul because she was her. And you know, whatever doors, she might not necessarily didn't win the title, but there were so many doors I'm sure that were open for her just being her. So things like that, like, be you, honestly, really. Like, you hear it and it sounds super cliche, but be all of who you are in all of your power. And if you need some help with getting in your power, holla at your girl. And be you, like, seriously, just honestly be you.
Well, thank you so much for that information and that amazing advice. That's something that I think, especially from the comments, really resonated with so many different people. So motivating, and I think it's also going to make some of us want to be in your chair, because that's something that you need before going on stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, we have church service every time we're in this chair. I don't want no pulpit. I'm good. I got a chair. We good.
So, as a pageant resource as ourselves, what is something as an artist that you would like to see more of on our page, on our feed, just, you know, as far as content goes?
I think, first of all, you guys are doing an amazing job with content. I love that I'm seeing so many different pages pop up, and, you know, influencers like yourself that are popping up that are talking about really shining light to, you know, Black girls and women of color that may not have received that light before. So your page, Beauty Queens Galore, Black Girl Reigns, I probably said that wrong, Black Girls Reign, Black women, Black girls in pageants, like those pages, like I don't care how many y'all create, like create 1,000 of them, because it's needed for us to be able to see women of color, you know, shine and be pushed up there where, you know, being honest, in this industry, women of color were severely overlooked. They had to, you know, make their makeup look a different way to minimize their features. They had to wear their hair straighter. They had to, you know, wear extensions to fit in. And now it's a matter of really allowing your uniqueness to shine. So I love to see the diversity in the content that you have. I love to see when you guys highlight, you know, certain queens. Like I believe they just have someone just highlighted the Miss International, you know, pageant, and just like all of those, continue to do what you're doing. Continue to reach out, you know, when you see people that are, you know, helping make strides, you know, and encourage those people. There are so many people that I even looked up to, you know, in the industry before me. So like I may have the shine now, the spotlight now. And I'm not, you know, big on that. I just like being me. But, you know, I love that, you know, there were people that paved the way for Black stylists like myself, like Liz Everett, Katrina James, who was a makeup artist that was doing a lot of, you know, of our girls. So, you know, those people like that, I really like to, you know, encourage and just like keep going, because we need to see it. Like, no matter how many you think there are, we still need more. So you're doing a great job, and continue to do what you're doing. Like, continue to do what you're doing.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate the feedback and honestly,
Thank you.
just that you see us. We appreciate that so much. We want to give you the opportunity to tell us how we can follow you, how we can book you, and all of that, so we can stay updated with you.
For sure. So you can follow me on all of my social media, Joy Williams Beauty. So on Facebook, Joy Williams Beauty, Instagram, Joy Williams Beauty. You can go to my website, joywilliamsbeauty.com. On there, you can also find my other stuff, like my YouTube is, YouTube/Joy Williams Beauty. You can go to Joy Soul Apothecary, but if you go to joywilliamsbeauty.com and select shop, you'll get to Joy Soul Apothecary. If you can't remember how to say remember all of that, but it's just Joy Soul Apothecary. That's the shop. Actually, I meant to tell you that I created a coupon. So for all of my queens that are tuned in today, because it is Christmas, and I know some of y'all are doing last minute shopping, buy black and go to joysoulapothecary.com, use code QUEEN15, and you will get 15% off of your entire order from now until next Thursday. That way I can get it out to you in time for Christmas. So just go to Joy Soul Apothecary, or like I said, you can go to joywilliamsbeauty.com and select shop with me, and it'll take you directly to that site. And from there, you will get 15% off of your body butters, your scrubs, your bath soaps, your, all of that good stuff that's on there. I even got some sage and Palo Santo, girl, if you need to get them relatives together for the holidays. Hallelujah. So you guys get a special code, Queen15, to go and do that. But yeah, you can follow me on all of social media platforms, Joy Williams Beauty.
Amazing. And thank you so much for that coupon. Everybody, make sure y'all go and use it. Get you some Christmas gifts, all of that, or something for yourself, because
include yourself in the self-care list. Include yourself. I shop one for them, one for me. One for them, one for me. Do that.
Well, thank you so much, Joy. We had an amazing conversation today. You gave us so much insight, so much motivation. Thank you so much. We are so appreciative of you, and we are going to continue to follow and support you. We hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. I really appreciate all of the people. Real quick before we get off, I appreciate all of the support, all the shares. I reached out to some of my pageant girls and was just like, can you please help me to promote this? Because I really want, Queen's Beauty Galore to get, the follows and the views and everything that they need. And when I say you guys showed up and showed out, thank you. Thank you to all of my pageant beauties, all of my girls that shared it on their stories and inbox and then wrote quick little reviews or their own testimonials. Like, I read all of them. I saved all of them. I cried. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. I really, really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you, Taylor, for just even creating this space. Like, you're doing an amazing job. Continue to do what you're doing, Mama. You're doing amazing.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great rest of your day. And
you too, guys.
Bye.
Bye.